my golf friend. Thanks for being here. How are you? How are things going on in your world? How's your golf game? Are you playing well? Are you having an amazing season? I want to give a shout out actually to a couple people who are in the Above Par Academy and listen to this podcast who have had some great success. Meryl won her club championship. So congratulations, Meryl. She sent me a note. And Susan won a big tournament recently. So congratulations to both of them. Thank you for being a part of my community, doing the work, getting the results, and sharing them with me and other people to see what's possible for them. Because we can learn so much from other people. Doesn't matter what level they play at. Right? We all have that same brain. We all have thoughts and emotions that affect how we play the game. Our talent pool doesn't matter so much. So it's so useful for y'all to share that with other people in the academy and hopefully with people in your own golf community. I'm all about sharing the love, right? If you can help somebody out, if you learn something from this podcast, I'd love it if you'd share the podcast, or if you got a big takeaway or an epiphany, share it with somebody. You don't know how much you can impact someone's life by just one thought. One simple thought can change so much. And you might not see the impact right away. It might be down the road. It might be months later. It might be years later, and they'll remember something that you said, or it'll click with them later on. But you plant the seed, you get their head thinking about it differently, and you can really change people in your community, in your life, at your club, in your family, even with little things. You can take what I share here and twist it into any topic, any subject. Tennis, pickleball, school, family, relationships, it doesn't matter. Right? It's all just about managing your thoughts around it so that you feel better, so you get better results, so that you show up in the world better. All right, so I got off on a tangent there. That was a little bit of a long intro. What I want to talk about today is superstitions, golf superstitions, because I think I know so many golfers have superstitions when they play. And I'm not going to say in this podcast that it's a bad thing or that you should change them or you should do anything. I just want to shed a little light, because I have a tendency to say, on the impact that superstitions can make in your golf game and how they can also be a vehicle for self-sabotaging yourself during a round. All right, so first, let's start with a definition of what a superstition is. Okay, according to Google, it is a belief or practice resulting from ignorance, a fear of the unknown, trust in magic or chance, or a false conception of causation. I guess any of those could be applicable. I think for most of us, it's really a false concept of causation. Hopefully, not too many of you are practicing superstition just out of ignorance, thinking that it actually is going to impact your golf game or your results. But just in this podcast, what I want to do is I want to help you notice how superstitions might contribute to some self-sabotage or just some extra mental baggage and negotiating that you're going to have to do during a round. And this is what we're going to do. We're going to just expose some of the superstitions that you have, and you get to decide if you want to keep them. So in my family, I'm going to give you an example of a non-golf superstition. Okay, don't hate on me for being an Alabama football fan, but we are an Alabama family because I had two daughters go there. One is still there and getting her master's, and my husband went there. He brainwashed them, and there was a lot of crimson in the house when they were in high school. And just absolutely brainwash them. Actually, in fact, he did such a good job of brainwashing them that I lived on this country road. There's, I don't know, maybe 5 or 6 houses from the main road leading up to my house. And in those first 5 houses, 3 of their kids went to Alabama from Tewksbury, New Jersey. Like, what are the chances? Their high school's so small. I can't tell you how many kids in my eldest daughter's grade actually went to Alabama. And I think it was the Mark Wood effect. But needless to say, we would watch football games. And if we were down at the half, Mark would say, everybody's got to go upstairs and change. Right now, everybody had to have gear on. You had to have something Alabama shirt. I mean, you basically went through like a uniform check before you could sit down and watch the game. And if we were down, Mark would say, everybody's got to go upstairs and change your shirts. Put on a new t-shirt or new jersey or new sweatshirt. And I remember when this first happened, I was like, what? What? He goes, yes, you got to do it. Everybody's got to go change. Come on. And he'd clap his hands, like, go change. And everybody would run upstairs and go change a shirt. And then we'd play the second half and the team would win, right? And then it ingrained this superstition that, oh my gosh, we're like magical. Does the team know how big of an impact we have by changing our shirts at halftime? I don't think they know that. Right? I thought it was ridiculous. I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. Right? We did this a few times. One game we were down and I yell at everybody, everybody's got to go change their jerseys. I'm like, let's go. And I was like, oh my gosh, I bought into it. It was like the wrong shirt. I think it was one time we must have changed shirts 3 times during a game. It's so silly and nonsensical, but it gave us all angst. Like we were stressed out. Like you don't have your lucky shirt on. Where are you wearing that shirt? And then someone would get it's dirty in the laundry. They're going to lose. That's a superstition. That's a big one that a lot of people have with wearing certain jerseys or t-shirts or sweatshirts to support their team. Now, in the golf course, my superstition was a ball marker. I had to have a dime. It had to be a dime. Pennies don't work because you can't see them, right? I liked it because it was shiny. It was little. It had to be heads up, and the head had to be pointing towards the hole. If it wasn't, I couldn't putt until I turned the coin around. This became a problem for me when I went and played on the European tour, and I didn't have any dimes. Like, it was easy to access dimes. Like, coins are kind of getting obsolete right now anyway, but it was easy at the time for me to access a lot of dimes. But now when I play on the European tour, I ran out of dimes. I lost all my dimes. So now I'm like, oh my gosh, what do I mark my ball with? So I'd use the local currency. I'd get coins. I have a jar full of coins from different countries. When I played the European tour, they were all like potential ball marks to me. I had to get over that superstition quickly because it was definitely going to impact the way that I putted or how I managed my mind over putting. The problem is that you don't want to stand over, let's say in this instance, a putt and have your thought as you're going to read the putt, think about what you want to do, focus on your tempo, whatever your routine is, and the thought be, but I don't have my marker. I don't have my dime. This is a problem. This isn't lucky. This is bad luck. Okay? If you have that thought that this is bad luck or that this is a problem, your brain is going to find evidence that you're right. Now, with Alabama football, we have no control over this. Now we're in an area that you can control your outcome. You're going to stand over it and have a lot of doubt. That's usually what's going to pop up when you have a superstition about something that you can't control. So other superstitions, I have a client who they won't ride in a cart with a certain number. If it has that digit in the number on the cart, they won't ride in it, or it's bad luck. Now, this is a little bit of a problem because if you can't control what cart you get, now that's going to hang out with you all day. You're going to be thinking about it. You're going to hit a bad shot and you're going to say, it's the cart, it's the number. Tiger Woods is a famous one with his red shirt he wears on the last day or wore on the last day. I think it was Jack Nicklaus who would always have 3 coins in his pocket when he played. So it could be a lot of different things. But this is the deal. The first thing that you want to do is you want to ask yourself, is it a superstition or is it a preference? So I have a preference of playing balls 1 through 4. I don't like big numbers on the golf balls. I don't like 5 through 8 or now you can get anything. I just don't like it. I like 1, 2, 3, or 4. I have a preference not to tee off with a colored tee, like a pink or a green or a red tee. It's a preference. It's not a superstition. And this is the way you know. You want to test it. So you want to test whether it's actually a preference or a superstition by listening to chatter in your head when you don't have the ball mark, when you don't have the tees, when you don't have the number ball. If there's a lot of chatter in your head that you have to negotiate, that's unnecessary. We have enough stuff to deal with in our brains than having to deal with extra chatter in our head that's going to produce a feeling of doubt. Doubt is not useful, or concern, or worry, or fear. That's what superstitions do in golf. If we can't have the thing, we can't wear the clothes, we can't have the tees, or the ball mark, or the number on the cart. If it's a preference, that's different. A preference is like going, I'd like a white tee, but if I have to hit this pink tee, okay, I'll hit it. I'm going to find a white tee. For me, the dime got in my head. I was like, oh my gosh, I don't have a dime. Now I could mark my ball with a beer can. I wouldn't care. It doesn't matter as much. I had to get over that one. So the first thing you want to do is find your superstitions. Then you want to test it, just like I said. Play a round of golf not with the thing or not having it available to you, or with the thing, with the number on the cart. And then listen to your brain. Are you uncomfortable? Is it noisy? Is there a lot of chatter? Right? Then you get to decide if you want to keep it. Right? It might be Jack Nicklaus is like, I can always get 3 coins. I have a ton of coins in my golf bag. This is not a problem. I'm going to keep it. I don't want to work on retraining my brain to not make it a big deal. Because by keeping it, it can give you a level of certainty. Right? You can go back. It's like the lucky rabbit's foot. It's in my pocket. It's good luck. But that would go back to one of the definitions that there's a trust in magic. Like, it was wearing the right jersey, combination of jerseys with my girls and Mark and whoever else was in our house. We've kicked people out of the room if they were the opposing team. Like, you can't be here. This happened recently too. We went over to a friend's house and there was like a Texas fan or something. They had a Texas jersey on. Were we playing Texas? I don't know. But everybody was like, why are they here? Can they be here? Shouldn't they be outside watching the game? It's so funny. Okay, so back to the superstition with golf superstition. So if you're noticing that it's just not serving you, like you're like, I want to break this habit. The first thing that you want to do is really use your rational brain and find evidence that it has nothing to do with your results. The ball marker has nothing to do with my results. I wanted to break that habit because it was really bothering me when I didn't have my dime. Logically, we can use our head and go, okay, this makes no sense. Clearly, us wearing certain jerseys makes no sense. They have no idea what is happening in Tewksbury, New Jersey, or in Charlotte, North Carolina, or anywhere where we are versus where they're playing. Or even if we were in the stands, right? It makes no sense. We don't have that much control. So when we use our logical brain, we get, okay, this is like, it's giving us angst on what we're going to wear and that we have the right jersey or the right shirt or the right combination. That was getting crazy. So then what I would just do, once you use your logical brain to figure out that makes no sense, I'd start weaning yourself off of it. So your brain can start looking for evidence that you actually can hit some shots, play well, have good luck without your superstition. Play well with that numbered cart. Play well with a different ball marker or a different glove or a different tee or whatever your superstition is. Start weaning yourself off. Make sure you're using your logical brain, right? Because that would lead to that definition of that false concept of causation. A dime does not cause my ball to go in the hole more often than if I used a quarter. I would have argued with you that it definitely does with a penny. Just saying. But you want to use that logical prefrontal cortex. You want to use that rational part of your brain and just question it. Because we can just get swept into these superstitions. And the next thing you know, they're just creating a lot of extra mental worry and baggage for you when you're on the golf course. And of course, you get to keep it if you like it. If you're like, I don't think I'll ever have a problem having a dime ever. I have 400 in my golf bag and it's not going to be a problem for me, then keep it. I'm not saying that you have to get rid of your superstitions. I'm saying figure out if it's a superstition or a preference. Notice that the superstition is creating extra mental angst for you. That's just not necessary. It's not useful. It's not helpful. And if it's not helpful and you want to switch it, then I would encourage you to first start weaning yourself off of it so that your brain can start seeing evidence of the causation, that the thing isn't causing your golf results. And then turning it into a preference, which sounds like I would prefer a dime, but I can mark my ball with anything. I would prefer a white tee, but I can hit my ball off of any color tee. I would prefer to wear red on Sunday, but I can wear any color shirt. Not sure Tiger would agree with that one. I think that's actually part of his branding now, but right, it sounds like I prefer to versus I have to, which creates a lot of worry and fear and anxiety. And you just don't need your brain looking for all the different ways that we can mess up because we don't have our lucky little something something. So I want to hear about your superstitions. Send me a note, send me an email, or connect with me on social media. And if I can help you in any way, you can go to kathyhartwood.com. All right, my friends, have a beautiful week. Roll Tide. Bye.